Hey there, autumn has arrived in London, so let's go for a walk around Westminster. See you there. Good morning, it is Sunday in October and we were promised blue sky and sunshine today. No, it's grey and cloudy. Anyway, we're at Westminster and I thought we'd go for a nice little Sunday morning stroll in the sunshine. No, at Westminster. Up there in that direction is Green Park and Buckingham Palace. We're going to head over there in a moment, but let's just first have a listen to a bagpiper and have a look at Big Ben under construction. Now, before the dreaded pandemic hit, I think Big Ben was due to finish all the hard work this year. I don't think that's going to happen now. Regular viewers of my channel may have noticed I've been having trouble with my settings on the Osmo Pocket. Oops, a pigeon just tried to fly past me. So I will try to show you Big Ben without having to interfere with the camera. Right, so we're at Westminster Underground Station. Just going to pop through here, see if I can get a better view. No, I can't. Okay, so there it is. There, I've got my settings fixed on my Osmo Pocket. Woohoo! It's now 11:45. That there is Westminster Bridge as the Osmo comes back down, so that's Westminster Bridge. I may film another walk shortly along the South Bank, which is actually really busy today. There's a lot of people here. So Big Ben, I believe it's actually known as the Elizabeth Tower, standing at over 96 metres tall, 334 steps to climb it. To the belfry, and 399 steps to the Ayrton light at the very top of the tower. And I read somewhere that when Parliament is meeting at night, that you have a light on the top of the tower. So that's Big Ben done. One of our top places for people to come and see when they visit London. Now we're just going to mooch around Westminster, which actually has one of the highest, if not the highest, concentration of tourist attractions, including Big Ben, Houses of Parliament, Westminster Abbey. The city of Westminster actually extends, I think is it 1.6 miles, something like that, along the river. And just ahead of us, Buckingham Palace, that falls under the city of Westminster, as does Trafalgar Square. I'll just take you up to these lights, where we started. So a bit of a Harry Potter reference there with Westminster Underground Station. If we continue up Parliament Street, it becomes Whitehall. You would go past Downing Street and up to Trafalgar Square that way. I'm going to run across here. Run, run, run. I feel like Annika Rice, those who know the reference from the UK. Okay. So here we are at the Houses of Parliament. I usually just pop the camera straight through the hole like that so you get a good view. Hole in the fence. There we go. Been a settlement here since Roman times. Used to be marshland here, as was the South Bank. So Romans, then monks. So there was a community of monks from 785. And then Edward the Confessor built a palace and a new church, which became known, just over there, as Westminster Abbey. The entire palace got burnt down, nearly all of it, in 1834. And so when it was rebuilt, they built it into the Houses of Parliament. So the old Palace of Westminster became the Houses of Parliament. This whole area, Westminster Abbey, St Margaret's Church, is a World Heritage Site. Has been since 1987. There we go. Let's point you in that direction. Around the green with the statues. I see Churchill at the front. Various other ones here. There used to be an Eastminster, which I found fascinating when I was doing the research for this, at around the Tower Hill, Tower Bridge area. So Westminster actually refers to, as I said, 1 mile or 1.6 kilometres from Westminster Abbey and the Palace of Westminster, immediately to the west along the River Thames. And I've discussed this with you many times. The fact that we have the City of London, which is the financial district, and the City of Westminster, which is the political district. And that divides your city into two cities. Right, here we are at Westminster Abbey. Now we're going to be coming back along that way. Got a little walk planned for you as we mooch around Westminster on a Sunday. I've got a green man. Here we go. See a tour guide with a tourist group, no doubt far more knowledgeable than me. And this is St Margaret Street. So here we are at Westminster Abbey. Give me a sec, I just pull up my bag. As I said, Trafalgar Square and Downing Street straight up there. So we're now on Parliament Square. What a lot of people don't know about this area is there's a lot of residential population. And in the old poverty map, you had every income group here, everybody. You can just about see the London Eye over there. So in the centre you've got Parliament Square, and quite often you'll see protests if you're hanging around here. Now they say, reputedly, the centre of Parliament Square is not very solid in the earth department. They claim that should a vehicle stray onto the green, they may sink into the London Underground line below. Is this true? I don't know. So here we're at Westminster Abbey, one of the main tourist mainstays for a first visit to London. Loads of people come here. The original building erected by Edward the Confessor in 1065 when he set his throne in the neighbouring Westminster Palace, which is now the Houses of Parliament. This abbey has been the setting for every coronation since 1066. It is the final resting place of 17 monarchs. The church we see today, it says on my notes, was begun by Henry VIII in 1245. It is one of the most important Gothic buildings in the country, with the medieval shrine of an Anglo-Saxon saint at its heart. Woohoo, the sun's come out. Woo. It was so disappointing when I got off my train. And it was just sheer clouds that greeted me. So you can see lots of social distancing bits and pieces going on. Not too much traffic. It is a Sunday. As I said, I was surprised along the South Bank. I'll film there if I can. How many people were there? So everybody's out enjoying. Of course, we might get locked down next week. If we get locked down next week, then I'll be that for a while. There's Queen Elizabeth II Centre, Methodist Central Hall. And I've mentioned before that sometimes as a university we hold our winter graduations here. I think it's quite nice for the students and their families to come hang out in Westminster for graduation. Some stuff here, Royal Wedding 2011, little descriptions. Here we are, Westminster Abbey shop. No idea if it's open. Just going to pop here. There we go. Here we are, Westminster Abbey. Let's have a look. Visiting times, not Sundays. Entry for worship. Okay. Oh, yeah, the shop is open as well. And we got some businesses here, solicitors. I'm going to just see if I can get into Dean Court. Is that what it's called? Where the school is. I see a barrier here today. Usually you can come through Dean's Yard. That's the one. Closed today. So this is Dean's Yard, and it's actually at the moment it's closed off. Usually you used to be able to go through. I don't know how long it's closed for. Is it indefinitely?
Until coronavirus.
Yeah, okay. So due to COVID, we can't actually go through Dean's Yard today. But I'll walk you around. There's some really nice streets around the other side that we can go and have a look at. There's some people who are allowed through, but I'm not allowed through today. So I'll take you around the other side so we can see it. That's global pandemics for you. Stop you on your nice little walk around Dean's Yard. Right, let's try a different route. Here's a French, it's always a French bulldog. Is it because I have a French bulldog I see them? Cognitive confirmation bias or something like that. So we're on Victoria Street now, and if you wanted to, you could head towards Victoria Station straight along there. So that would take you straight along to Victoria Station. I do have a walk from Victoria Station to Buckingham Palace, but I think I might refilm, preferably on a less cloudy day. We're on Great Smith Street. I'm just going to point you up there, where it says Great Smith Street, free library, public baths and large hall church house. I wonder what was in the public baths. Didn't know there were all public baths around here. So this is a detour because I'm not allowed through Dean's Yard today. As I said earlier, quite a lot of residential properties around here, as you can see through these buildings. I assume quite a lot of them will be offices and things like that. And we're going to duck into some rather sweet little streets in this area. And if you look at the bus journey that I took from Victoria Station, I think we may have been due to come through here, but it was closed off due to roadworks. I'm looking at this. Could this be old public baths? You know, they kind of have the look of old public baths. I could have that wrong. I'm saying old, might still be working. So looking up towards Victoria, we've got Buckingham Palace mildly to the right as well. These windows are covered, monitored by monitored alarms. Don't blame you. Got windows out on here. I think we may be at the back of the school here, actually. Department for Education. So quite a lot of MPs have apartments in this area. And we are, you know, very much kind of on the edge of the Westminster bubble, or Westminster Village, as people tend to call it. I can hear my bag banging, which you're going to hear on the mic if I don't stop it. And just keep that out of the way a little bit. Can't seem to crack a bag that doesn't make a noise when I film. So this is Church House, which I think, I'm going to look it up. I've got some notes on this place. I'll just look it up a moment. Hold on. Okay, so I was right. This is the headquarters of the Church of England. And we're around the back of Westminster School. I'm just going to pop along here now, along Little Smith Street. I actually quite like this part of London. It's sort of between Westminster and Victoria. Lots and lots of old buildings. It's a bit of a push from the Chelsea Flower Show along here, but usually if you've walked around the Chelsea Flower Show, you're a bit too tired to walk back to Waterloo. So here we are, little backstreets just off of Westminster, and were it not for a global pandemic, right next to Westminster Abbey, you can pop along here through the churchyard, the Westminster School. That building says 1899. Now I'm going to pop over here and point you through the railings, seeing as we're not actually allowed into the green. She is very nice, explained to me that due to the pandemic, nobody's allowed through, whereas normally this is a public right of way. I think it's to protect the school kids. Hear my bag rattling. And quiet streets. Okay, so here we are. This is the other side, so normally you would be allowed through here. If you see my other video through here, you'll see all the school kids milling about. So it's a large square green surrounded by the buildings of Westminster School. Westminster School actually dates back to 1340, when the Pope encouraged all monasteries, in this case Westminster Abbey. You'd have heard about the fate of Westminster Abbey when my Covent Garden walks. Anyway, the Pope encouraged all monasteries to support a school. So I'm just going to get my bearings. I've got slightly lost. I've gone the other way. Wait a sec. So let's continue down Great College Street. As I said, I mean, we're literally minutes, stone's throw from Westminster. You've got these nice little residential streets. We're going to head down Barton Street. I do apologise if we got rattling bag being annoying. Sounds to me like it's being annoying. So, Barton Street. Let's see, looks like some residents of Barton Street there. I don't know if they'll appreciate me turning up filming them with my camera. Anyway, T.E. Lawrence. Lawrence of Arabia. Lived here. Wow. Lawrence of Arabia, 1888 to 1935. Lived here on Barton Street. So we're walking along Barton and then we're going to head into Cowley Street. This is a walk I found on somebody's website. I'll try and link it at the end. I thought this was a really nice idea. Beautiful houses. Here we go. This is Lord Wraith, 1889 to 1971, first Director General of the BBC, lived here 1924 to 1930. Oh, and another one. Staying with the arts, Sir John Gielgud, 1904 to 2000, actor and director, lived here 1945 to 1976. There's always a helicopter. Can't do a walk without a helicopter. Just can't be done. So that's Cowley Street we've just done. Just do a turn. I'm going to say the dreaded J word, John Nash. I wonder if he had anything to do with this lot. I'm going to take a guess that yes. We're approaching Great Peter Street now, which we're going to cross. And we're going to, in a sec, be heading down that way. But let's for now cross. Car coming. So quiet around here. Getting cocky about whether there's cars coming. I think that would head you towards Victoria a little bit. So this is Lord North Street. We haven't been walking around for long, it's only just gone 12:05. And we had to take a detour. Public shelters in vaults. Interesting. What's that mean? As I said, a real mix, every type of socio-economic group has lived in this area. Peabody Trust have places here. Up to, obviously, you can see the incredibly wealthy. So this is the Church of St. John's on Smith Square. Looks like it's open. We're going to head this way, back towards the river. We can nosy in on their conversation.
You were there in 2015. I've led 6 expedition service.
There we go.
Including 2015, yeah, the other day.
Wow. Penny farthings. And that's interesting. I don't know what's happening there. You got the two guys dressed up and the two guys in high-vis vests. It's like they're bodyguards or something. I'm not sure what that was about. I could ask, maybe. Anyway, let's say goodbye to the square and head on down to Victoria Tower Gardens, where we will find ourselves right next to Westminster. Just pop you quickly into the gardens. It's greyed over again now. Boo. Give me some sunshine. It's quite windy as well. Northerly. I think it's a northwesterly wind technically, but it's feeling a bit of a northerly about it. It's cold. If you see my bus trip, I think we come along here. If I've got that right. I may have got that wrong. Thank you. Right, let's cross. So this is Millbank. You may have seen mention of that stuff about Westminster Parliament, what have you. Apparently they're not allowed to fly drones or model aircraft in here. Right, let's pop over and have a look at the river on a cloudy October. Well, it's lunchtime now. Erected by Charles Buxton in commemoration of the emancipation of slaves. Let's have a look over here. There we go. So west, and it's like pan nice and slowly. We've got a little, one of our little Thames beaches down there. Last time I went and had a nose on one of those, there was a dead fish, great big dead fish. Really pleasant. And then a kid being a kid trying to hack it up. That's kids for you. So a little walk along the Thames here. People out walking their doggies. Not on the Thames, in the park over here. Were we in summer, you could sit here and have a picnic. I haven't actually filmed in 2 months. And I've missed it a lot. I really miss it when I'm not filming for YouTube. But day job and what have you, sometimes you just can't fit it all in. Also, as with so many jobs these days, if you get caught up like I did with exams and marking, the normal job's still waiting for you to do it. So you've got to catch up afterwards. Now we've got the resits, those that didn't do so well, and so it continues.
No, you don't mind that, do you?
Helicopter and London Eye. The queue wasn't too big. I might have gone onto a helicopter. Gone onto a helicopter, yeah, love that, thank you. I mean, I wouldn't mind going on the London Eye, but it's pretty busy. Big queues. There's St Thomas's Hospital, just over there. The Burghers of Calais by August Rodin. And we are back at Westminster. House of Commons and the House of Lords. So here we are, where we have had the home of the permanent institutions of English government continuously since around 1200. From 1707, the British government has wielded its power from here. Westminster often refers to the Parliament of the United Kingdom, located in the UNESCO World Heritage Palace of Westminster. You are well aware of the history of that by now. Because Henry VIII, by the way, abolished the abbey and established a cathedral here, this is what ranked this parish as a city. Though much smaller in size than the City of London and the borough of Southwark, or Southwark, as you may have read it. Black Rod's garden entrance, I always love that. There you are, Black Rod's garden entrance. Doesn't look like much of a garden at the moment, too much building work. There we go. I'm going to show. I'm always convinced that somebody's going to come along and tell me to go away or arrest me or something when I'm here doing this. We've got the Jewel Tower over here. The Jewel Tower is actually a surviving part of Westminster Palace from the fire. It was built to house the King's wardrobe and jewels in 1365. The other side of the road at the moment, so you can't see it quite so clearly. Should also point out St Margaret's Church, which is kind of the local church for the House of Commons. And it's got like Sir Walter Raleigh buried there. And it was sort of the community church for the parish servants of the palace and the abbey. Rural population, you did have a rural population here at the time. As well as those in the posh houses. Went to St Margaret's Church. So here we are, back end of the Jewel Tower. I do have a video, an old video on the channel of lots of protest around here about Brexit. Yeah. From behind the tower, ta-da! Windy. More joggers, I'll stand back.
Yeah.
So that's the back end now of Westminster Abbey. Call this the Cromwell Green entrance. I don't know what that means.
Because you see them all on the road here, don't you?
Cromwell. Would explain why it's the Cromwell Green entrance. Angela, I'm really clever. Got a PhD and everything, you know. Oh dear. Back onto St Margaret Street. As I said, St Margaret's Church, the local church. And that's us really. Back where we started. I do hope you enjoyed this walk. As I said, it was a greyer day than I was expecting around Westminster on a Sunday, but I do hope you enjoyed it anyway. I will see you next time. Bye bye.